there's a saying, isn't there? Racing improves the breed. That's the saying. Formula One is it. Formula One is the pinnacle. That's the word, isn't it? Is the pinnacle. We're here for 2 days, so I think we can learn a lot more about the sport, the technology, engineering, everything. But we need a bit of a measuring stick, don't we? A bit of a measuring stick. We should race my bike against a Formula One car. How tricked did that look?
This will be the ultimate bike versus car challenge. A speed-obsessed daredevil Guy Martin takes on Formula One legend David Coulthard.
The best one, mate. Best of luck. He's a national treasure, so I couldn't go and run him down, could I?
They'll battle each other on and off the track.
Oh, you got me. Down, down, down.
Go!
Two great racers, two amazing machines, and a series of world-first tests to reveal more about the science behind the fastest sport on Earth.
That's it, boss.
I'm out of breath.
Getting chance to race a Formula One car is I'm excited. I am excited. I'm genuinely excited.
Guy and David will be going head-to-head at Silverstone, the home of British motorsport. They'll compete in 4 challenges designed to test the defining aspects of racing. A drag race will test acceleration. Then they'll test high-speed braking. A slalom will assess the ability to rapidly change direction. And finally, they'll race around the famous Grand Prix circuit.
After you, boys. After you. After you. After all the 2 doors to go through. Go on, we'll get this one. Sorry, boys. Come on. Come on. We all right? Take you boys everywhere when we go.
Guy's motorcycle is being prepared by one of his most trusted mechanics, Mark McCarville.
We've got a plan yet, boy?
Yep.
Are they getting you fed?
Steady away.
Right.
Mark has more than 20 years' experience and has worked with Guy for 6 years. He set off at 1 a.m. from the team's base in a small village in County Londonderry to drive the bike here in a van. David Coulthard's F1 car came in a lorry along with an 11-man pit crew.
I've got to go meet this David Coulthard, man.
He's just time. Really nice.
Did he?
Yeah.
Now, boss.
How are you?
David.
Enter.
I'm Guy.
How are
Nice
you,
to meet you,
guy?
mate. You all right?
Yeah, good, thanks.
David Coulthard is one of Britain's most successful ever Formula One drivers, with 62 podium finishes and 13 Grand Prix wins. He retired from F1 8 years ago and lives in Monaco.
It's always nice to jump back in, and of course I'm always a bit nervous because I don't race anymore, but it all comes back to you very quickly when you head out on the track, and it's an absolute thrill and it's a pleasure.
Guy Martin is one of Britain's best-loved motorcycle racers, most famous for his exploits at the Isle of Man TT. He works as a lorry mechanic in Grimsby.
Because, you know, with motorbikes, you're stupidly fast. But not as fast as a Formula One, I don't think. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the challenge works out.
When was the last time you went in one?
A year ago?
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Was it?
But I've
Have you been in the new
warming
tap?
up. Look at that.
Look
I can
at that.
almost touch my
Look
toes.
at that.
I had a bath this morning to try and loosen all the muscles.
Is that right? Bath. I don't know when the last time I had a bath was. I don't know when the last time I had a bath.
It's a pity there isn't a smell vision on the television. Could you smell incredible? Is that your own brand of aftershave?
Well, you know, it's what I do, David. It's what I do, mate. You know.
Is that Castrol R or something? What is it?
It's something similar. It's something similar.
The car David will be racing has a pedigree that's second to none. The Red Bull Racing RB8 produces 6 times more power than an average road car. It has an ingenious array of wings and slots that alter the airflow over the car and make it faster. It took Sebastian Vettel to a 3rd consecutive F1 World Championship in 2012. David was instrumental in developing this car.
I I feel proud to have been part of those early days of helping construct what has gone on to be one of the most successful teams in the history of the sport.
Guy's machine is a Tyco BMW S1000 RR Superbike. It's the ultimate development of the sports motorcycles you can buy in a showroom. In the right hands, the bike is capable of more than 200 miles per hour.
Goes like Billy O, stops like Billy O. Dead easy to ride, does everything you want it to do. Doesn't complain very often. He's chucked me off a couple of times, but nothing too major, nothing too major.
In fact, the last time Guy rode this very bike, he was leading the Ulster Grand Prix before crashing and breaking his back.
Oh, it's a big one!
He hasn't ridden it since.
I didn't know what I was going to think. I didn't know if I'd get on it and I'd just be as stiff as a board or I'd just be nervous. And I got on it and it was just like putting a pair of old slippers on.
The teams prepare for the first event. Both car and bike have tyre blankets on to heat the rubber and help the tyres grip the track surface. They also warm Guy's gloves.
You get cold hands when you're out there.
Blue.
But look, hands like that, I would have thought you were well armed. You'd probably do it with no gloves if you could get away with it.
The first challenge will be a drag race, the definitive test of off-the-line acceleration. From a standing start, they'll race for a quarter mile.
Who do you think is going to win?
I think the initial getaway, the bike will be better. After, I don't know, 50, 60 miles an hour, I expect the car to be able to then catch momentum on the bike. What do you think?
I think you should smoke me.
You reckon?
I think so. 850 people work at Red Bull. Max turned up in a van with a bike in the back. I'm just saying, the best one, mate.
Best of luck.
Maybe. Yeah. Something like that. Right, I'll get my gloves off my eater. Yeah. I'm sure you have a man to warm your gloves up somewhere, don't you?
I have two ladies actually to warm.
Starts are critical in Formula One as they offer the best chance of overtaking. Here, Sebastian Vettel was faster off the mark than poleman Lewis Hamilton and went on to win the race. Contrast that with this start from Kimi Räikkönen. A clutch issue meant he went from the front row to last place. A fast start on a motorcycle is all about balancing full power against the bike's urge to wheelie. The precise timing involved in launching both car and bike mean the pit crews are split on who will win.
Drag race, car.
I'm going to say bike.
Car, always. No question.
If it's not slippery, I think the bike.
Car, just.
Over a quarter of a mile? Surely DC can keep it on the track that long.
I looked to my right and I've got, oh yeah, it's not a fellow motorbike competitor, it's David Coulthard in a Red Bull V8 Formula 1 car. Oh, bloody brilliant.
Nobody knows what's going to happen next. Guy Martin on his Superbike is taking on David Coulthard in a Formula 1 car to find out which performs best in the defining aspects of motor racing. They're about to drag race for a quarter of a mile. First to the bridge wins. It's a win for the car in 10.29 seconds, but it's remarkably close. Guy gets the better start and leads after 100 metres, but as they reach the halfway point, David starts to come back. He passes Guy 20 metres before the finish line and wins by just 0.3 of a second. At the start, the car has too much of a good thing. Its 750 horsepower overwhelms the grip of the rear tyres, and they simply spin. Guy, meanwhile, makes the perfect start.
Well, 1 second into the drag race, I'm leading. Trying to get the bike in a straight line and trying to keep everything under control, get my weight in the right place, get the brakes in the right place, get the throttle in the right place, make sure I've changed gear, and just trying to do everything to get the bike forward as fast as I can.
I want to do the best job. Your natural competitive instinct takes over. So if I was starting for my life, that was it.
The car loses out at the start, but once its tyres recover some grip, David can use full power to reel the bike in.
What do you think?
Well, I was surprised. You got away better, but more quickly than I expected. I sort of came back at you.
Yes.
I don't know how it
I think maybe to 20, 30 mile an hour, I've maybe got the legs on you.
Yeah. In fact, I can almost see your buttocks clenching.
With that bike there, you have to live on the back brake until you get to 4th gear-ish, and then it's settled enough then.
It may seem counterintuitive, but to go faster means stamping on the rear brake. It stops the front wheel lifting and means Guy can keep full throttle on.
Like we go to the Isle of Man, I get through 2 sets of boots, wear the bottoms of the boots out.
The car crosses the finishing line at 159.6 miles per hour. Guy follows behind, just 2 miles per hour slower. But a win's a win for David.
Yeah, of course. I haven't won anything for years.
In between challenges, David and Guy get the chance to have a guided tour of each other's machinery.
Go on, you don't need me, I'll say. Put your foot on me and then sling your leg over. You all right? What do you think?
Anything that involves my legs being like this and sitting forward is exclusively reserved for being at the doctor.
All right,
my
mate.
prostate
All
checked.
right, mate. Yeah.
I feel very uncomfortable. Can I get off now?
Yeah. It serves a purpose, though, doesn't it? What we got there, how many men do you have to have that start? You had to fly a man in from France to start that up.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's right, you have had to fly a man from France. Like Max brought this from Ireland in a van. Just press the start button.
Which is
The red
that there.
button at the bottom, press that right.
Is it out of gear?
Yeah, it's out of gear, yeah.
I have to do this. Can I lean against it when I get the vibrations?
Go on.
Hell. But you know, that raw power is something that makes it very. It's quite intimidating though. It's quite scary for me.
Can we have a look at the car?
Yeah, of course.
The car is a sophisticated machine, and one of its most expensive parts is the multifunction steering wheel. It costs £27,000.
Could you give us a run through what these are?
Engine mode, you want to have everything you've got for qualifying, but you might not be able to run that mode for the entire Grand Prix because it uses too much fuel.
Okay, yeah.
So you'll come down a mode. Drink,
Yeah.
always very important.
So
know what
you
have.
don't have to suck that.
No, we're Formula One. We don't suck. we have a little pump that blows it into your mouth.
Bloody hell.
You know what it is, actually?
Formula One?
It's a window washer motor off a car. That's probably the. I don't know if it still is. Tony, do we still use a window water motor off a car for the drink system?
Not anymore, David. No, we haven't done that for quite a few years. We've got a specialised motor that does that now.
Damon Hill used to have cold tea because by the time you've been doing a Grand Prix for an hour, the tea would warm up and you got a hot black tea. Yeah. It's
You
just
just made
fluid.
that up?
No. Would I lie to you?
I don't know you long.
With your mad eyes, do you think I would tell you a lie?
that Damon Hill had tea in there. By the end of a Grand Prix, it'd have warmed up.
Yeah.
My words. I'm going to note that.
Time for the next test, braking. In F1, braking can be key. Here, Nico Rosberg brakes later and harder than Kimi Räikkönen and gains a place. But here's Rosberg getting it wrong. He brakes too late this time, overshooting the corner, handing the race lead to Lewis Hamilton. Braking from high speed requires the drivers to press on the brake pedal with an average 150 kilograms of force, the equivalent of pushing away 2 grown men with 1 foot. And they need to do this up to 1,500 times a race. Bikes have less weight to stop, and the braking forces are much lower. A rider's fingers pull about 5 kilograms on the front brake lever, little more than a firm handshake. So which brakes best, car or bike?
This is the start and finish straight here, isn't it? The new start and finish straight. What do you think? What sort of speed?
Well, a Grand Prix car comes alive about 100 miles an hour, and that's when
Right.
the aerodynamics are really starting to become efficient. So I think we at least need to be around 100
100
miles
mile an hour.
So you've got a speedometer, you set the speed, because I don't have one.
Right.
I'll run side by side with you.
Yep.
We'll pick a spot at the
Yes.
start finish. When we get to that spot, maximum attack in the brakes, and we'll see who can stop more quickly.
Right. We will see, won't we?
We will see.
And it's difficult because it's a little bit cool today, so I think anything could happen.
Easy. We're all over these bike things.
Guy and David will enter the start-finish straight at 100 miles per hour and brake at this point. The one who stops in the shortest distance wins. They complete a whole lap and form up side by side at 100 miles per hour. They'll both brake when they reach the cones.
Incredible, isn't it?
The F1 car's performance is spectacular. The highway code says a road car must stop from 70 miles per hour in 96 meters. David stops from 100 miles per hour in almost half that distance. It takes the car 3 seconds to come to a halt. The bike takes just a second longer to stop, but in that 1 second, travels a further 24 meters.
Yeah.
You're right. So in the beginning there wasn't as much of a difference as I expected, but you seem to get to a point and then you don't continue to slow down, whereas I then really stopped. But the initial sort of retardation, I thought the bike was pretty good.
You reckon?
Yeah. And I didn't think I was slowing down as well, slightly locked up. But I think actually once it built a heat, you know, in the contact patch burning out, I've got flat spots now, so those tyres are knackered.
that right?
But I think actually it started to bite into the track.
And
it
knackered brand new tyres?
They were. They'd done a couple of laps already. But they're knackered now, yeah.
I'm tight with my tyres.
The car's big advantage is that it has 4 large brakes and 4 large tyres.
We've got that crucial 4 points of contact, and that generates friction, and that's why we can stop more quickly.
Each point of contact on the car is roughly the size of a dinner plate. In contrast, the bike's tyres only offer a contact patch the size of a credit card. And so Guy has to use all his skill to make up for the lack of friction.
Real hard on the brake until you feel the rear coming off the ground, and then ease a tad of pressure off, and that's it. That is it really, and not make your arms straight. You know, because otherwise it's just going to go to the weakest link and try and put you over the handlebars. Put as much of your body weight to the back of the seat as you can to try and keep the rear in contact with the ground, and just feel the pressure. Just
So your
work.
body is such an intrinsic part of the balance of a bike.
Oh yeah, it's a massive.
Whereas I'm strapped in the car, so I have no influence beyond brake pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Where you've got more influence, but you've got less contact.
Yes. Interesting.
The competitions we've done so far have been a lot closer than I expected.
All right.
Anything that involved getting the power on the road from a standing start or getting the actual vehicle stopped, you would think the car clearly has an advantage
I would
because
say, yeah.
of that 4 points of contact.
Yes.
But it's a lot closer.
Yeah, it's tight enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Outright speed on the track isn't always what decides racers. Pit stops can help a driver get ahead of a rival, but can also see precious places lost if a tyre gun is fumbled or wheel nut dropped. F1 is a team sport, and the best pit crews are well enough drilled to change all 4 tyres in around 2 seconds.
Can I have a go then, please?
Guy will have to use the air wrench to undo a nut, remove a nut, wait for the tyre to be replaced, then replace the nut and tighten it back up, all within 2 seconds. And all while wearing team issue safety goggles.
Bloody hell, there's nothing 10 pence in here, is there?
You look like you're going skiing. That's fantastic.
I'm not much of a skater, to be honest.
So, on your marks, get set, go.
2, 3,
Good instinct.
4.
Nice. Good return.
I snookered the job up there, didn't I? Didn't get the socket right. We're having another
That was
go.
your first time, mate.
That was pretty
good. I was impressed with your reaction.
We've just lost the race, mind you, but... Does the count put you off?
The what?
The count.
Focus is the mind. Come on, we're
Okay, okay. Right,
Yeah,
on your marks. Get set, go. 1, 2.
Perfect.
Hey, that was
Good job. That was good.
Man, you almost took 50% off. I think
get it
you've
quite
got a
off.
perfect stop in you. I think you have to have another go.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, 3rd time lucky. On your marks. Get set, go. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Well, you got yourself a job on the pit crew.
Well, there. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Cheers. Right, come on.
That was
You've got to go
impressive.
do my motorbike wheel now.
Yeah, but you see these hands, these are not
Come
meant
on,
for...
come on.
Okay.
Get out of that car. And let's have a go.
right.
Come on. Come on.
Tyre changes at the TT races are a one-man operation. The best take around 18 seconds. It's entirely manual labour. Once a hand brace has been used to remove the rear spindle, the chain is unhooked. Wheel replaced, chain reattached, and spindle tightened back up.
There you go.
It's almost like that. It's almost like that.
There's not a lot holding that rear wheel on, is there?
It's all right. It's not going to fall out in a breeze.
What can possibly go wrong? The one bit I don't remember is to release you go down.
You
or
do.
Come up.
You
Okay.
do. Lefty
All right.
tighty, righty loosey. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Is that right?
The bit you didn't do beforehand is you didn't do the warm-up, did you?
Look at this. I'm worried now.
David will have an audience. His pit crew are keen to see him getting his hands dirty for once.
On your marks, get set, go. Come on.
That's it. Cool and calm.
God, that's actually quite tight, isn't it?
That's it. Hey, that's all like that. Look at that. There's no panicking going. That's good. That's good. That's it. That's it, boy. That's it. He watched, didn't he? He watched.
Gentle with the caliper.
I'm impressed. Look, there's no panicking going on.
It's not bad, is it?
That's it, boss. I'm impressed. What time are we on there?
Honestly, feel my heart. I'm out of breath.
59.3.
Right, you've only got another 30 seconds to lose and you're on the money. But that's all right. That's all right. Do you want another go? Is that enough?
That's it. Honestly, I'm out of breath.
It's the end of the first day's challenges.
Brilliant day. Brilliant day.
The F1 car has edged both races so far.
Can't wait for tomorrow. We've got more.
But tomorrow will give Guy his best chance of victory. It's day 2 at Silverstone, where Guy Martin and David Coulthard are competing in a series of challenges which test them and their machines in the crucial aspects of motor racing. The F1 team are in early. The tolerances inside their car's engine are so tight that it has to be regularly warmed to make sure it's always ready for racing. They have a new recruit.
They're not quite like mid-transit. The wing mirrors are pretty mega. You know, I've no wide view section at the bottom or anything.
You that guy.
Cheers, mate.
It's Guy's first time in an F1 car, but the team are happy to let a fellow mechanic carry out the gearbox check.
P2, please, Guy.
A starter motor cranks the engine, while laptop computers monitor the temperatures and pressures.
Okay, guys, shift check.
Gear changes take milliseconds and are selected by grabbing a paddle on the steering wheel. There's no need to lift off the throttle, so there's never any pause in acceleration.
Okay, guys, steering wheel check. Okay, guys, back down the gearbox.
Downshifts are selected with the left-hand paddle.
And neutral. Excellent, thank you.
The test is complete.
Spot on.
Thank you very much.
Oh, bloody hell. I'm stuck in, boss. I'm stuck in.
Remember, the drivers have to do in and out, belts on in 7 seconds.
They put their own belts on.
Well, they get strapped in with the belts on, and then they've got to be able to get out of the car, take the belts off, steering wheel off, back on in 10 seconds.
Bloody hell.
What a go? How was it?
Yeah, spot on, mate.
Yeah, it was good.
Spot on, yeah.
You feel the vibrations through your back?
Mm-hmm. You're cosy in there, aren't you?
It's snug. Yeah.
What's the crack? Let me get my shoes. What have I done with my shoes? What have I done with my shoes, boss? What have I done with my shoes? Where's my shoes? The cheeky bugger.
The massive effort in driving a Formula One car means driver fitness is just as crucial as having the best car and the best team. David Coulthard took fitness so seriously, he would tow a gym behind his motorhome as he raced around Europe. Today, F1 drivers are amongst the fittest athletes on Earth, combining the endurance of a marathon runner with the strength of a powerlifter in a body that has less fat than a supermodel. Silverstone is home to the Porsche Human Performance Laboratory, and David and Guy visit to test two crucial aspects of racing fitness.
We're going to have a look at hand grip strength, a vital component in motorsport. Racing drivers, the best we'll see is around 65 kilograms force.
How big is that?
Hell.
Must be huge.
Check out Mark Webber's. You probably know he shook his hand enough times.
Has he got big hands?
Yeah, big.
What do I say about big hands?
Yeah.
Big gloves.
Could you blow in my ear while I'm doing it? You were going to.
I was going to do, yeah.
Good. On, hard as you can. Down, 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 and relax.
Oh, God.
49.4.
Strained my neck.
Yeah.
Don't know what I'm doing.
You're going to be well out of this, aren't you?
I wouldn't have thought.
You're used to lifting truck gearboxes.
I know, but I've got screws in. I have got screws in place. I have got, so you do know.
That is noted.
We do.
There is a large scar there.
Yeah.
It's not even tending.
You ready? 2, 1, good. $35.9.
What?
Houston, we have a problem.
So why did it hurt when you shook my hand? Are you really squeezing?
I don't know.
How do you hold on to the bike?
I think I don't hold on.
The fact is, a motorcycle rider needs a delicate touch so they can twist the throttle smoothly.
You must be such a gentle lover.
You know.
The forces involved in muscling an F1 car are far more physical and mean that even 8 years after retirement, David still has the grip to rival a young racer.
David Coulthard, winner.
Get ready, go!
The next test is all about reaction speed and peripheral vision.
Come on, get on with it, man.
This is a Batak machine. The average person can turn off about 30 of the randomly illuminated lights in 30 seconds. An F1 driver at the peak of their abilities can turn off nearer to 60.
Ow!
There you go, 37. Not bad effort.
37 is slightly above average.
Get ready,
Guy's turn.
go!
How's it feel?
Steady away, boss. Steady away, steady away.
Apparently, Michael Schumacher wasn't particularly good on reaction test, but he was an exceptional, successful racing driver. Going to be close.
What we're looking like?
Going to be close.
What we're looking like? What we're looking like?
Oh, 35.
What was you?
37.
Oh, ready for the knackers yard.
It's all that metalwork slowing you down.
That's what we'll blame it on. That's what we'll blame it on. It's all right.
You're a bit more flexible than I thought you would have been with all that, yeah.
I can touch my toes.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
David.
Come on. We've got to start somewhere. We'll start
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
The next challenge will test each racer's ability to quickly change direction.
I'm not sure I'll make it through that.
Edge her on a bit, Chef. Edge her on a bit further, boy. Yeah, that's going to be tight enough, isn't it?
Handbrake. Yeah, that should be about right.
Guy and David are going to slalom and have been asked to lay out a precise course.
That's something's like in him. Far from straight. Be right, though. Be right. Don't worry about it.
Are we going left, right, or right, left?
Well, however it takes your fancy.
Okay. Across the line, that's
Across
it.
the line, that's it.
An F1 car's high level of grip means it can change direction in the blink of an eye without having to lose speed. One of the stiffest tests is the famous Eau Rouge corner at Spa, where the bravest drivers tackle a quick left-right at 180 miles per hour to carry momentum up the hill. Making a bike change direction also requires extreme physical input from the rider to overcome the gyroscopic effects of the wheels. When they're turning at speed, their tendency is to stay straight. Nevertheless, David thinks Guy's got this one in the bag.
Yeah, you can probably just be dancing on the pegs, like that.
Just like that.
Whereas I'll need to be going, come on, come on.
The slalom race is back on the Hanger Straight. They must negotiate 9 cones in just 150 metres. David will go first, while Guy waits at the finish line.
You're right. That's it, that's me starting out.
Ready to time the run of his new best friend.
If he invited me to Monaco, would I go? I'd love to. Just knock on the door. All right, Dave, how's it going, mate? You all right? What's happening? Here he comes. Here he comes. Listen. Go!
And I was pretty happy with it. I knew it was going to be tricky, because, you know, it's a bit tight for a racing car.
Yes.
But we put new tyres on,
Yeah.
which gave a lot more front grip. So it was a lot more nimble than I expected. I really thought that I kind of got the right momentum.
The art is to apply just the right amount of throttle to spin the rear tyres, pivoting the car around the grippy front end.
Total throttle travel is maybe only, well, less than 50 millimetres. And you learn to be able to, while the car's moving around, just put in very small movements with your foot when you're at low speed. But I was literally just maybe giving it, say, just under half throttle to get the car moving.
The most impressive thing for me was when he got through the final cone and he gave it the berries to go through the finish line. How trick did that look? I felt the exhaust pulses on my chest. Just the earth move, genuinely. Obviously it didn't. It didn't, but Jesus.
Guy has 12.87 seconds to beat and heads for the start line.
I'm surprised he didn't have a little sneaky practice on the way down, because we didn't say he couldn't practice. But that is very sporting of him. He's a gentleman. Three, two, one.
Crosses the line in 9.87 seconds.
I don't think that was a very good test.
3 seconds quicker than David.
Right there.
How do we get on?
9.5 seconds.
Ah, smoked you.
I'm amazed at how much faster you are. You look like you were just having a cruise.
Sorry. Dancing on the foot pegs.
Yeah.
If you try and rush it, you just end up catching the cone.
It may look easy, but Guy's steering input comes from him rapidly shifting his whole body weight from one foot peg to the other. He's hardly moving the handlebars at all.
How long is my bike? How long is it? 1.5 metres, yeah, about 1.5 metres. It's a Formula 1 cat, 4 metres. let's be honest. If I didn't win that, I should have just gone home, tail between the legs. Right, go back for a cup of tea.
Yeah, I think so.
Grand job. Thank you.
I'm not a bad loser, but I just need some time on my own.
Well, we've won one. Come on.
It's a victory for the bike, which makes at least one mechanic happy. After every outing, the pit crews need to work on their respective vehicles, leaving the racers with some downtime. The Grimsby lorry mechanic and the Monaco superstar discover they have more in common than you may think.
I had a 7.5 ton truck from a Formula 4 car,
Yeah.
and I used to sleep in the back. And I had that little night heater run off the diesel tank. Tiny little thing, isn't it? Was my best friend when I was at Cadwell and Snetterton and places like that.
You've raced at Cadwell?
Yeah. Gone over the mountain, spun it, put it in the wire fence.
You might have even been to Grimsby then.
But soon even the spare time turns competitive as they decide to test each other's reactions with an impromptu game of slaps.
Come on.
Don't hit me because you've got big hands and you're probably going to hurt. These are delicate. Don't do that. Well, hold on. We've got to be able to touch before you hit, okay?
We're all right. Oh, you got me. You got me.
Okay, right, hold on. Let's touch and then count one before you start slapping. 1. Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ah, yeah. We're not very good at this, are we? I didn't touch. Okay, the last one didn't count.
Well done.
Right.
There's just one challenge left for David and Guy, and it's the big one, as they pit their 200 miles per hour machines head to head in a race around the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Guy Martin and David Coulthard have been racing a superbike against a Formula 1 car. The car won the braking test.
Incredible, isn't it?
The bike was quicker through a slalom.
9.5 seconds.
Ah, smoked you.
And the car won the drag race by a nose. Now it's time for the final challenge. A race around Silverstone, the same course used for the Formula 1 British Grand Prix. The Superbike lap record here is 2 minutes and 3 seconds, but an F1 car is 30 seconds quicker.
So
go on. The plan is.
the car is much quicker, we know that.
Yeah,
it's got nothing to do with your riding talent or my lack of driving talent. It's just quicker. It's just even sitting in the stands there, it's quicker. Look at it.
Look at it.
It's just angry.
And so to make things competitive, this will need to be a special sort of race. David in the Formula 1 car will have to complete 4 laps before Guy on his superbike can complete 3.
Right, are you beating me?
I don't want to because I really like you. And I only met you yesterday. But putting that man crush to one side, you know, I've got to do my bit for 4 wheels.
I'll give it my all. That's what, you know, we're in this racing situation.
Yeah.
I always give it my all, 100%.
The racers prepare.
You don't see me psyching myself up. What do you want me to do? Beat me chest. I don't get revved up, do I, Matt?
No, not at all. Nice and calm.
This is something a bit different, a little bit special. I'm racing a Formula 1 car.
You still want to run with some traction?
Yeah, please, sir.
David Coulthard in a Formula 1 car. I know what you're thinking, like the bike racers. Ooh, steely look and... I like that.
It seemed like a good idea when we were talking about it. Now I'm in the car, I'm not so sure. It's going to be difficult.
Guy and David do a slow out lap to form up on the grid. David deliberately spins his rear tyres to make them hotter and stickier, so he has more grip off the line. The race will start when the lights go out.
I lost quite a bit of time to Guy off the start, which, I'll be honest, it pissed me off a little bit.
I've got him in turn one. I beat David Coulthard in the turn one, and then he just smoked me. Came around the outside of me in the first corner. Just looks so steady, that car, yet going at wall speed.
The race is on. David may be ahead, but to take victory, he has to try and complete an extra 3.6-mile lap and pass Guy again. Helping David is downforce. The air rushing over the wings on his car pushes it into the ground, giving him more grip. Even with cold tyres, he barely lifts the throttle as he turns into the famous Copse Corner at 120 miles per hour. At the same corner, Guy is more than 40 miles per hour slower. Even though he's pushing so hard, the bike tries to spit him off.
You've got one of the best sequences of high-speed corners anywhere in the world, and that's Beckett's. It's the 3 corners that take you out onto the back straight. You look at the corner and you're going seriously quickly, and you just trust the downforce, and it's incredible what it delivers, and it's a great reminder just how incredible these cars are.
After the first lap, David has just a 21-second lead over Guy. If the gap only increases by that much each lap, David won't catch the bike, and Guy will win. But David's second lap is a fast one and takes another 35 seconds out of Guy's advantage. He's on the limit, pulling nearly 4G in turn 1. As Guy starts his third and final lap, it's still too close to call. David is half a lap behind.
I was starting to lose hope. I couldn't see him.
David starts his last lap. The car's average lap speed is 30 miles per hour more than the bike's, so the gap is reducing rapidly.
And then he appeared as we came into the farm section. The thing that's very impressive when you follow a bike on track is how much influence the rider has on the performance of the bike. His body is used to manipulate the bike, and you can see when he's in a long corner, he's moving his body to get some feedback from the tyres. It's a lot more involved than driving.
I'm impressed how close that bike is to the car. And like David said, when we was in the race, he had an eye on me going onto the straight, and he said he couldn't catch me.
On the straights, the bike hits 175, just 10 miles per hour slower than the car. But it's under braking where David makes up all the ground. He's able to brake later and in a shorter distance. Now it's all about whether Guy can fend off a Formula One car.
I eyed him up. I knew my opportunity would be round outside. Normally a difficult thing to do in car-on-car combats because you go out on the dirty track. But with the benefit of 4 wheels and tyres, a load of downforce, I was able to just sneak round the outside. And if I could have got my arms out of the cockpit, I would have given him a little royal wave.
He doesn't look to be a wrestling match, just effortlessly glides away.
With just over half a lap left, it's now a straight race for the line. And David Coulthard takes the checkered flag, completing his 4 laps, 13 seconds quicker than Guy completed 3.
My hands are really sore, even with power steering.
All right, mate. That is fast, boy. That is fast.
It was a good race. A lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Absolutely awesome it was, yeah.
There's only 2 of us here, and these guys have got a full team. But we've done the best we could with what we've got, so
I thought Guy did a fantastic job. I mean, the track's really cold. He's not going to have a lot of grip. So the way he's squirting out of some of these corners frightened the hell out of me.
It's opened my eyes to the motorbikes because I don't know much about them, but it was really good.
The bike there, it's off the line, is so quick. I thought it'd be a bit further apart, but yeah, he looked good on the bike.
Well done. I thought I wasn't going to catch you.
I think he's done well to come back from the crash that he's had, to throw his leg over a bike and do what we've done over the last couple of days. It's been good, it's positive.
I'm happy though, I'm happy. I couldn't have done any more. Loved it on track, loved it. Loved it, getting to go out on my bike again that I've not rode for 6 months. I love riding my bike, but no, I got more out of talking to the lads in the garage. It's interesting, that. It's a way of life. Being a Formula 1 mechanic is a way of life. Like, if I was 10 years younger, I would have jumped.
It's always a pleasure to be at a racetrack. The on-track, I know, is fantastic. It's always fun to drive a Grand Prix car. It's a real privilege driving one of those World Championship winning cars. But off-track has been the most enjoyable because it's been a new experience. To come along, meet Guy, understand a little bit of what makes him tick, to find out we've actually got some interests in common. I'm clearly not as technically passionate and absolutely not as interested in getting my hands dirty as he is.
Where are you putting these wheels, boy?
But somehow, I think there's a common thread. Over the course of this competition, the car has come out victorious, so well done to the car.
Going on very happy, loved it. It's been an honour.